Have you ever had that moment of dread where you feel nauseous and like you're going to throw up? Maybe something similar to what I'm feeling standing in front of all of you today. I'm typically a pretty outgoing and extroverted person, but I had that feeling of dread on November 4th, 2014. I was a first-time candidate on the ballot. I had decided to run for the Mountain View City Council. I was about to find out if all the hours of phone calls, door knocking, and campaigning were going to pay off. I put myself out there in a really public way. And even for someone like myself, I felt pretty vulnerable. On that Tuesday at 8:01 p.m., I found out my fate. I lost. I was a loser. I felt like I had let down my friends, my family, and my supporters in a really public way. What had gone wrong? I thought I had done everything right. I'm a go-getter. You might call me type A. And as soon as I moved back from graduate school, I got right involved in my community. I joined a few nonprofit boards, and I'm a native. I'm a third-generation resident. I was soon appointed to the city's Environmental Planning Commission. I also had been civically engaged since a really young age. Beginning in elementary school, I was involved with student government. Beginning at the age of 12, I was a class representative. I am an expert poster maker. After high school and into graduate school, I continued as a student representative. I had devoted my entire life to public service. I was really fortunate to grow up in a family that supported my passion for public service and community engagement. My father is a third-generation Japanese American born at Heart Mountain internment camp in Wyoming, and my mother is Chinese and Puerto Rican American from New York City. They are the first in their families not only to go to college, but graduate school. And I had the fortune of growing up in my parents' 10-acre flower-growing nursery, and that instilled a really hard work ethic in me. But like many of you, I was one thing on the outside and so much more on the inside. I am multiracial with an Asian face. I grew up going to judo and Girl Scouts at the Buddhist church while wearing a uniform and going to Catholic school. I felt all the guilt and a lot of expectation to be successful. I was a smiling face on my mother's campaign literature. But at the same time as my mother's very successful public service career was taking off, I was facing a great loss, that of my family, my parents' divorce. I was proud of my mother. The apple doesn't fall far from this tree, but divorce was difficult to navigate. At the same time, I was supposed to be focusing on college applications, letters of recommendation, and my future. My current future felt like it was falling apart. I got a part-time job and somehow discovered how to manage my extracurricular activities. But I felt very isolated and lonely, just me and my brother. The future felt very far away. And I was living the model minority myth that I was an exceptional student. On the contrary, I've never naturally excelled academically. I've always wanted to, but it's always been that much harder for me just to meet those expectations of not only my face, my family, but also myself. I had my heart set on applying for school on the East Coast. I wanted to escape. I wanted to be far away from my home and my family and to be that exceptional student that I thought I was supposed to be. It didn't happen. And I was crushed. I was going to have to go to school in California. And while that might be great for everyone else, that felt like a big divergence from the path I had set out for myself. The question started. Was this attainable for me? Was this the path that I truly was supposed to set myself on? It was. When you face failure, however big or small, it's when you find out who you truly are. And you have two choices to make. Are you going to accept defeat and disengage? Or are you going to double down on yourself? I decided I was going to believe in myself. It's when you truly find out who you are. And it's not luck. It was hard work, determination, emotional and financial investment in myself. You make your own luck. So what would I tell my younger self? Failure is okay. I would tell that younger me that had so many expectations for themselves, who felt like there were hurdles and struggles, that there was a light at the end of the tunnel, and that those dreams and expectations she had for herself were actually going to be greater than she ever imagined. I would also tell her that being a woman, particularly a woman of color, was going to be a reality she was going to have to face her whole life. And there were going to be bullies and moments where she would question, did she believe in herself? But she shouldn't. And she didn't. On November 6, 2018, I put myself out there once more. I decided that I would once more run for the Mountain View City Council. 4 years later, and many lessons learned, I knocked on every door in the city. Not once, not twice, not 3 times, 4 times. And at 8:01 p.m., I learned my fate once again. I won. I stand before you as a proud new member of the Mountain View City Council. I also stand before you as a loser who learned that winning wasn't about being lucky, but about taking on defeat. Thank you.